Okay, everybody, welcome back. Good morning. So today we are actually going to do another skill. It is a new skill, sort of, but we went through during social studies. Okay, so refer back to your region paper. Okay, and we are focusing on source D again. Okay, so if you look carefully at source D, we already said certain things about the source, right? We said that this source was published in 1984. Okay, we also said that this was published by a Soviet historian. So which means two things, that this is after Korean War, which ended in 1953. This was also by a Soviet historian, which means that could it be biased? Okay, and if you look at the question here, they are asking you, study source D, how useful is this source as evidence of Korean War? Okay, when you have question that says as evidence of Korean War, what is it really looking at? Okay, what aspect of Korean War am I looking at? I hope you can understand my handwriting as well. So if you look very carefully here, the United States, having landed troops in southern Korea after Japan's surrender in 1945, it was seeking to gain control of the whole country. So this part actually tells you that United States actually had ulterior motive, right? That United States actually was helping South Korea for a reason. And the reason that they wanted to help South Korea was to gain control of land. Now, another example to show that America had very manipulative intentions were, if you look very carefully here, by unleashing a civil war in June 1950, the South Koreans, backed by the United States, turned the Korean Peninsula into an arena of fierce international conflict. Now, the word unleashed itself, it's quite negative. It's like you are unleashing a monster. It's like you are forcing people to fight. And the very fact that this is a civil war, what's a civil war again? You fight between people of the same country. And all this was because USA's motive as well as agenda, which is quite negative. Okay, so coming back to the question, how useful is this source as evidence of Korean War? It is useful. Okay, so first let's look at the formula part. Now, when you have utility, first things first, it must be 2 paragraphs. Okay, second, it must be useful plus source details plus cross-reference. Now, in history, the cross-reference is actually to your own knowledge, or what we call it as contextual knowledge, CK. Okay, so it is useful plus source details plus cross-reference. Now, something is not useful, that means this is the second paragraph. It is not useful because of 2 things. It is not useful because of cross-reference, again to your own knowledge, or it is not useful due to purpose. And the purpose here is CAMO. What does CAMO stands for? It stands for creator, audience, message, and outcome. Okay, so far everyone following me? Now, when you have a source that is pretty limited, if you look very carefully, it is a very limited source. Why do I say that this is a limited source? And the reason is because it only blames who? USA. There was no mention of other people here. And we all know that in the conflict, right? In the Korean War conflict, there are many other people or personalities that are actually involved in the Korean War. There is Soviet Union. There is also North Korea. So where is these two countries? So that is why this source is actually, at the end of it, not very useful, because it is actually very limited. Okay, so I hope you understand that. So for a utility question, always make sure, again, I repeat, it has to be 2 paragraphs. It has to have a useful part, a source detail part, a cross-reference part. It must have a not useful, a cross-reference, or a purpose. Okay? So the way we write it is also slightly different from our inference and our message sources. Okay, so we're going to go through that in a minute.